today we're going to be talking to you a little bit about our strategic plan it's a 7-year plan and it runs from 2025 to 2032. Next slide, Fran. Yeah, so I have a little quote here from the Petit Prince, and it's a goal without a plan is just a wish. And so obviously we have a lot of dreams in our department, or wishes if you prefer it that way. But I think this strategic plan is very helpful in that it helps us. I think there's two main things. One is there's an infinite number of things we could do if we had an infinite amount of resources. But unfortunately, that is not the case. We have a finite amount of resources. And so having a plan of this nature helps us to prioritize how we use our resources so that we can achieve the goals that we've outlined. And so that, for me as a department head, is really helpful because I would be able to come back to this document and help use it to make decisions about how we, fund certain projects or maybe don't emphasize certain projects moving forward. I guess the other part of having a strategic plan, though, is also trying to pull people together. And so one of the values that'll come up later is about community. And I think having a plan that we've tried to create in collaboration with the community is, I hope, helpful in that regard, because it shows, everyone where we are, and hopefully people will see themselves in this plan and feel like they can be a part of it and help contribute to it, and that it also helps them and contributes to their growth as well. And just as a little bit of a caveat, don't worry about it, Fran. It is a living document. So historically, I think people thought about these plans as very static, but more and more we're realizing that in fact, these plans evolve. So this is our plan as of now. And I think it's a great plan, but we are not stuck in stone on this, and we will evolve the plan as time goes on. And we will probably end up doing a refresh at some point, maybe halfway through after our accreditation in 2028. And just as the Faculty of Medicine is doing a refresh. So great. Thank you, Fran. And just a bit of a land acknowledgement. So in Vancouver, we are, I am on the ancestral and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Coast Tsleil-Waututh peoples. And we have sites in Surrey and in Prince George. And so they are on different territories, which I will not too many to mention at this point. And of course, people zooming in are probably on different territories as well. And so maybe at some point in the end, if you want to throw in where you're at in terms of in the chat, I would be welcome to do that. But I also want to say that we are also very cognizant of the UBC's Indigenous Strategic Plan. I'm going to close my window. Squeaky noises. Oh, sorry. We're also very cognizant of UBC's strategic plan, and we are embracing it. And so our plan is also trying to be synchronized with or synergistic with that plan as well. So just a little background about how we got to today. And so just a little summary of the planning process. So we started this, it's been, I don't know how many months now, at least 6 or 7 months of pretty hard work on this. And we got support through the UBC Strategic Decision Support Unit, the SDS. And rather than having this plan be my plan, I've enlisted the help of 8 other faculty members, and we identified 4 core areas, and we got 2 faculty members to be in charge of each of those areas. So for people in belonging, we have Dr. Tal Yaris and Dr. Laura Bulk. For research, we have Dr. Jill Zwicker and Dr. Julia Schmidt. Education, we have Donna Dryanen and Katie Lee Bunting. And for organization and governance, we have Dr. Sue Forwell and Stephanie Clegg. And then we also assembled a community advisory group from across BC, including, it was very purposeful selection of people in terms of representing different sectors, OTs from different areas, people with lived experience, new grads, experienced therapists, people living in different areas of the province. And I won't go through the whole list, but you can see their names there presented. So big shout out to our community advisory group, and I really appreciate all of their help. And yeah, really appreciate it. And if you're in the room, thank you. I can't see everyone. So we also did a series of surveys. So we sent out 3 surveys over the course of the summer and the fall. And basically we used that feedback and the survey from an advisory group, and also a series of regional events. So I went to all the health authorities and visited with frontline clinicians virtually and in person at those sites, and got them to share their feedback about our preliminary plan. And we integrated all of that into a series of surveys. And we also organized a full day retreat for faculty and staff. And so what you're seeing is basically a culmination of all that consultative work in this document that we're presenting to you today. So, so to start off, just a little bit about our vision and mission, and go to the next slide. So our vision is just and equitable occupational participation for all. And our mission is to advance occupational therapy and occupational science, promote exceptional healthcare, and improve people's lives through inclusive education, research, and advocacy. And we have a number of values that we have outlined through our consultation process. So our core values are respect, inclusion, justice and equity, sustainability, curiosity, creativity, and innovation. So as I mentioned, these are the 4 core areas. And so what I'm going to do is go through each of the core areas, and we're going to talk about a number of goals in each core area. And each goal has a number of actions, and each goal has a metric. And so that's, yeah, if you're, I don't know, historically, like the previous strategic plan, we had a metric for each action, but we've been advised to actually just have a metric for each goal. And I think that's probably better in terms of just bandwidth of doing all this measurement, but also really making sure we're achieving the goal, which is really the important thing. Not the actions will support that goal, but they're not the critical piece. So for people in belonging, we aspire to grow and nurture a vibrant and inclusive community where people with diverse perspectives and experiences co-create a sense of belonging. And our first goal is to foster belonging by supporting OSOT community members to feel connected and to have genuine influence in shaping the department. So some of the things we're going to be doing or actions to achieve this goal are to look at our committee membership and structure. So trying to seek even better representation of people from across our 3 sites and in different roles to serve on our committees. We're going to be creating different means of sharing ideas. So we already do town halls, and we also have meetings, but we're also going to be having an open website form. So it's almost like one of those feedback boxes of old, but realizing we don't have the physical locations anymore, we'll do it as a virtual form. And then we're also going to be holding an annual summer celebration, bringing together all the sites. So that's faculty, staff, and students, with activities that are going to be determined by the community itself. And to track the progress on this goal, we're going to be doing an annual people and belonging survey. It's not going to be a long survey, just a few questions about each of sort of the constructs of interest. So just tracking how the sense of belonging that people have, and sort of their satisfaction with that. And you'll see that is that method or that metric is common for many of the goals in the people and belonging stream. So we'll get back to that in a second. So second goal is to intentionally attract and support students, faculty, and staff with diverse experiential expertise or lived experience. So we're going to work with the UBC equity focused units and OSOT members to assess and provide recommendations on how to remove barriers in hiring and recruiting faculty, staff, and students. And similarly, we're going to be broadening the student admissions criteria and design strategies and tools for prioritizing experiential expertise as part of the assessment of applications. We're going to create opportunities for more diverse recognition, acknowledging the labor of creating safer spaces and building relationships inside and outside the department. And we're going to be organizing educational sessions for the OSOT community on topics that promote justice, equity, and belonging. And to some extent, we're doing that already with our community of practice on learning, but we will expand that and try and embrace, bring in even more people into those sessions. So to track that one, it's going back to that survey. So goal number 3, we're going to consciously develop and maintain learning and work environments that are safer, supportive, and connected to enrich the well-being and success of all. So we're going to hold workshops on best practice with accessible and culturally informed communication, presentation, documentation, and conduct. Create timely opportunities for professional connection between faculty members and students across sites. We're going to be trying to collaborate with local Indigenous communities to arrange appropriate opportunities to regularly and respectfully connect the departmental community with local lands and traditions. And we're going to be creating a well-being committee to organize social events across sites, inviting colleagues from other departments and external partners where possible. And once again, it's going to be the same metric for this one as well. And goal number 4, we're going to nurture relationships with other programs, partners, organizations, professional and government bodies, and institutions. So to achieve this goal, we're going to work with the Faculty of Medicine Alumni Development and Engagement Office to host regular alumni events and opportunities for connection. And we're also going to identify and capture as a department collectively nurturing existing relationships and partnerships with community-based groups, nonprofit organizations, and people with lived experience. And this is a different metric because we're not currently doing this, but we want to actually develop a list of our current partners at this point, and then track that over time to see if we can monitor the growth and quality of the partnerships. And there's a nice little summary slide from Fran. So this will appear in the final report, but I'm not going to talk about this summary slide or the other ones as we go through the presentation. So next one is around education. So we aspire to provide an inclusive, evidence-informed occupational therapy and occupational science educational program using innovative teaching methods. We support our graduates to become highly skilled, reflective, and confident lifelong learners. We educate learners as future leaders who advocate for equitable access to occupational participation at individual, local, national, and international levels. Our first goal is to continue to graduate exemplary occupational therapists by revitalizing the Master of OT Therapy curriculum, guided by the new competencies for occupational therapists in Canada and our model of distributed education. So we're going to initiate a curriculum renewal process using the Association of Canadian Occupational Therapy University Programs guidelines beginning in the new year. And to shepherd that process, we're going to be developing a representative advisory group for consultation throughout the renewal process and review site-based opportunities within the curriculum. Because that's one of the things with new sites. We really need to revitalize the curriculum, make sure that these new sites are reflected. And we want to make sure that we're actually leveraging the opportunities that these new sites offer. And to track this goal, we're going to be comparing our MOT students' national occupational therapy certification exam results against the national average. Because historically, we have almost invariably been above the average. I think for the last, Sue would know more details, but I think for the last 10 years at least. So 22. We've done very well. Sorry?
22 years.
Oh, for the last 22 years. So we must continue that proud tradition. Thank you, Sue. So goal 2 is to uphold and grow the respective strengths and expertise of a diverse faculty to develop and sustain excellence in distributed teaching and learning. To achieve this goal, we'll create a development program for new and junior faculty. We'll also be creating a continuing professional development program for established faculty. And then we're going to be adopting clear programs of progression, training, and support for clinical faculty to cultivate and recognize the expertise and value of the Why You're Teaching team. And for this, we're going to actually be leveraging some of the work that's already ongoing and is just nearing final stages of approval. And so to track this progress, we're going to be looking at the qualitative comments on distributed teaching in peer reviews of teaching and also student evaluations of instructors. Goal 3 is to responsibly maintain a variety of educational programs that serve the needs of BC, including postgraduate research programs, or MSc and PhD programs, education for internationally trained occupational therapists, our MOT students themselves, and then occupational science-centered programs as well. So to achieve this goal, we will engage with the BC OT community to understand gaps and opportunities in the education and professional development that the department offers to graduates and practicing OTs, including a focus on equity-denied groups, explore whether we can offer additional courses at the undergraduate level to introduce a broader range of students to occupational science, and continue to strengthen and intentionally expand the MOT program sustainably, increasing the number of seats in the program and breadth of regions served. Now we're going to track this progress through a midpoint survey to assess whether BC needs are being met by our programs. Thank you, Fran. Third core area is research. So we aspire to foster a research environment that collaborates across health and social disciplines, engages with community, clinicians, people with lived experience, and decision makers to create, translate, and implement research and knowledge for the benefit of society. So our first goal is to increase the level of collaboration with community, clinicians, and people with lived experience to inform and enhance our research. So to achieve this goal, we will feature learning sessions that include clinical faculty and people with lived experience, and host public events to showcase and discuss our research. We'll create a communication strategy to cohesively promote our research internally within UBC and externally to the general public, clinical community, and people with lived experience. We will consult widely and provide recommendations on how we can respectfully and sensitively collaborate with Indigenous partners and support rural and remote research. We will collaborate with clinicians and people with lived experience to determine areas for research and support ideas through capstone projects, the Mentored Clinical Partnership Program, and other new and existing initiatives. And so to track this goal, we're going to be monitoring the number of grants, publications, and presentations that include community, Indigenous partners, people with lived experience, and clinicians, and also including non-traditional measures where possible. So goal 2 is to advance the scholarship of teaching and learning in occupational therapy and occupational science to enhance student learning outcomes and promote educational leadership of faculty. So to achieve this goal, we will initiate partnership mentorship scheme for the teaching and research faculty to collaborate on projects related to scholarship of education and learning. So bringing our research and teaching faculty together on these things. And then also include educational leadership research as part of public engagement efforts and communication plans. And we will track this progress by measuring the number of publications, presentations related to educational leadership, teaching and learning, also including non-traditional measures where possible. Goal 3 is to promote a sustainable, innovative, and impactful research program that improves the health and well-being of individuals and communities, enhance health service delivery, and influences policy. So to achieve this goal, we will create a system or role for supporting research knowledge mobilization and research networks in OSOT, expand internal seed funding opportunities for faculty to explore new and innovative research ideas, and produce and promote an annual summary of OSOT research that offers a broad range of impact measures and real-life relevance. So we'll track progress towards this goal by reporting on a broad range of traditional and non-traditional knowledge mobilization and impact in our annual summary of research. And so our last core area is organization and governance. So we aspire to have systems and processes in place that align with our values and that are articulated in a logical, systematic, and clear manner. Our first goal is to update and expand our departmental government structures and documents to sustainably support the MOT program's distributed education model and our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. So to achieve this goal, we will undertake a documentation review and make recommendations for the update, bringing in resources as needed, and then seek input from relevant partners and define documentation systematically based on feedback. And our metric for this is basically approving each section of the government's documents with our OSOT Executive Committee until all sections are updated and approved. Our second goal is to review and promote intentionally promote intentional support systems, for example, onboarding, promotion and tenure process, faculty membership, and student advising to cultivate a just and safer professional environment for all. So to achieve this goal, we will review and recommend improvements to our current student advising and faculty mentoring structures, run an annual session to present updates on the UBC faculty medicine promotion and tenure processes, and hold a Q&A for individual and group issues, undertake a formal review and refine staff roles and responsibilities within the department and in the context of the faculty of medicine to ensure adequate support for departmental activities, workload balance, and flexibility across people and sites, and review and refine onboarding procedure for faculty and staff in the context of our distributed site model. And our metric for this is, as part of that people and belonging survey, we're also going to be including questions about feelings of support and safety among our staff and faculty. And last goal, folks, we're almost at the end. Thank you for sticking in there. Is to achieve an exemplary accreditation outcome in 2028, as we achieved with our previous accreditation. So to achieve this goal, we will capture and document institutional knowledge of the accreditation process, prepare a long lead timeline for accreditation milestones, and share details about the overall accreditation process to the wider department and community, highlighting expectations and involvement required, and then submit relevant documents in a timely manner, respond to reviews, and oversee the accreditation site visit. And our metric for this will be receiving exemplary status in our 2028 accreditation review. So just a little bit of a wrap up here. So as I mentioned, this is a living, breathing document, but we are committed to working on it and achieving our goals and making them a reality. And so, as I mentioned, we're going to be using this document to help us prioritize our goals and actions and direct time and resources to accomplish each of the initiatives outlined. And we're going to be providing updates on each prioritized action monthly at our Department Executive Council. And we will track the overall progress in our plan annually. And as I mentioned, we likely might do a bit of a refresh or renewal midterm if needed. So I just want to thank you all for being here today, but also probably thanking you for your ongoing participation in this process, because I can imagine many of you have completed these anonymous surveys on multiple occasions, and some of you maybe are advisory board members, and I know some of you are my faculty and staff. So I just really, from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate everything you've done to contribute to this process and help make our dreams a reality. So thank you.